when I was about 11 years old, I begun this process of being available or putting myself in the land of possibility. So what I mean by this is if you're a freelancer, you run your own gig, you create your own work, you have a portfolio career, there will be a huge chunk of your time, your life that you spend going in for meetings or having a chat about something, or in my case, going for auditions or castings or sending an email or all of that sort of outreach work, putting yourself in those places and spaces. If you are somebody who works for themselves, this might involve putting together business proposals or putting content out there and then just seeing who responds, or if you welcome new clients, maybe it's sending a newsletter. All of that stuff, essentially, where I mean that you're saying, hi, I'm available and this is what I do, and then seeing what comes back. And as much as I would like to say, I just sit there and, things just come to me in this beautiful way, I am still jobbing. I'm doing the things, I'm putting myself out there. And I actually heard Davina McCall saying this a little while ago, where she's like, yeah, I still pitch for stuff. I still put my my name in the ring, my name in a hat. She puts herself out there. That's what I mean. And actually, when you do that, I think it keeps you sharp. I think it keeps you really thinking about your contribution and what you're going to do. So I've worked out that I've been doing this for about 30 years, because that's when I started auditioning. That's when I started to really take my career seriously, which at 11 just seems quite a young age. But there we go. Anyway, I want to give you 3 tips today that can help you if you are somebody who is putting themselves out there. Because when you do, there's so many mixed emotions. There's a sense of like, I really want this job. I'd really love to do that. Oh my goodness, I'm on my way. Sometimes there's a sense of, I actually need to pay my bills. So I'm really ready for a new job, a new client, whatever it might be to come in now. So if that could happen, then great. But also there is the rejection element. Sometimes we can feel as business owners, as creatives, as freelancers, we're putting all of that stuff out there and we don't feel like we're getting anything back. Or does anybody know that we exist? We can really go into our head in this moment. And all of that is perfectly reasonable because it is emotional. And we make these choices as freelancers or to stand up for our dreams. And I know that sometimes it's not the easy option. I think the easier option is just to, sit behind a desk, do as you're told, do the things. But if you are maybe built like me, actually you would find that really difficult. If it's like, yep, I'm just going to sit here for the next 30 years and see what happens. I know that I'd be a right nuisance. That's what I would be. Anyway, let's get back to the thing. Tip number 1. If you get an opportunity, you see a possibility, you want to apply to something, you are going to send your newsletter, anything that directly comes from you about your work and where you see there might be a match, number 1, do the work. And this is sometimes not what you want to do. It's like, do the work again and do this for free, essentially. But I think we have to set our standards as who we are in the world and what people come to expect. Because I've also seen this, that if I consistently show up at a level, sometimes something will just happen completely out of the blue, without a meeting, without an audition, like, yeah, we'd love to hire you. Can you come tomorrow? And that's because I've built that reputation over time. So even though it would be really easy to get into that headspace of like, what again? Oh, I haven't really got time to do this big, answer your 4 questions on the application. Do it. And a bonus thing I hadn't thought about actually was to Start to file these answers, start to create these templates for yourself, because lots of the things will remain the same. And I love it when I go back into my email box, I'm like, oh, I wrote those really great 7 lines. I'm going to use those again and tailor them in this way. But number 1, do the work. Do exactly what is required. Do it to the best of your ability, and don't send anything shabby. That's what my mum would say to me, not necessarily to you. But the temptation is to just like dash something so it's done. The thing that you want to do is actually get the result. So it's not just about doing it. It's about finding a way to get the result. Wow, this lighting is really weird, but I'm going to keep going. Number 2, once you've done the thing, let it go and then continue to do the work. And that is like, what? But I thought with step number 2, we just keep moving forward to all of the good stuff. But the temptation, I think, sometimes is to do the thing and then totally take your foot off the gas. Like, well, I've sent 3 emails, so now I'm done. And that's not saying that you shouldn't have any work-life balance, but equally, it's probably going to take a while. It's probably going to take consistency. It's probably going to be about showing up when you don't want to, even if you don't get the result immediately. So this is about letting it go and not becoming that needy person who's like, hi, I'm just following up. Hi. Wow, let me see if I can fix this lighting. 1 second. Is that helping? Sort of. So it's about letting it go and then seeing what happens and going back to the work. So instead of going, well, I sent the email and they said the closing date was Friday and I haven't heard anything, I'm just going to wait here until Friday. No, keep yourself busy. Keep doing all of the things. Number 3 is to remind you that there will be always more than one way to take you to where you want to get to. And I have been blown away again and again and again in when I track things back of, oh, I thought it would happen in this way, but it didn't. And then I met that person and wasn't that funny? And that coincidence. And when I bumped into this person I hadn't seen for 20 years at yoga, isn't that weird that all kind of came together? And the more that I go through this freelance, creating your own gig experience, the more I see those weird spaghetti junction moments. And so knowing that there isn't just one way to get you where you want to get to, I think it makes you really creative. I think it makes you really open. I also feel like it takes the pressure off, because also I've always been in those meetings, especially in the early days. I'd go for these meetings and I'd be like, oh my God, is this like the one? Is this the thing that's going to open the next door? And I'd almost have that like grit and determination all over my face. And that energy is not necessarily attractive. And I heard Daniel Priestley and Stephen Bartlett talking about this the other day, the with or without you energy. And I think that is so, and I've realized I've sort of done that for years, you know, whether I get a yes or a no, like I'm doing it anyway. It's all good. I'll just keep going and I'll be on my path and I will adjust accordingly. But that with or without you energy, I think if I was going on dates again, if I was going up to people like, are you the one? Are we going to get married? Is this going to be great? Yeah, that would be quite something, wouldn't it? I mean, people might be like, I don't know. I'm just going to go to the toilet and I'll see you another time. Yes. So those are the 3 things today. Number 1, do the work and do it well. And save your templates. Number 2, let it go and then continue doing the work. And number 3, there will be more than one way to get what it is that you want. So be open, be curious, have conversations with people, and be in the mix. If you want help with this, if you want support, strategy, guidance, encouragement, accountability, pageant mum energy, come and send me a message via my website, nickyraby.com, and let's get cracking. Let's do some things and make some stuff happen. Lots of love, and I'll see you next time. Bye.